now I'm going to tell you a fantastic story, and I was reminded of it by our new member, Bobby L., who sent me a terrific treatment for a sitcom, but that's another story. Anyway, this is all about the difference between using big gear and small gear. So many years ago, like all my stories start, I was working with Oxygen Media, which was a women's cable channel that was just getting started. And we had our offices down on 16th Street. And Oprah was part of the thing. It was going to be a big deal. And I was teaching the entire staff to shoot and cut their own stuff, which makes a lot more sense than hiring crews every day. Anyway, when I was hanging out there and we were working with them, and this woman came up to me and she said, "You're a TV producer, right?" I mean, in this business, who is not a TV producer? If you make coffee, you're a TV producer. So I said, "Yeah, I'm a producer." And she said she worked for Deutsch Advertising, which was across the street. And they were looking for a TV producer to do a bunch of videos for them, a bunch of videos for them. Was I interested in working with them? Well, you know, I mean, $1 is $1. So I said, sure. So I went across the street to this meeting that they'd set up. And, you know, it's all polished concrete and steel and glass and very fancy, expensive ad agency. And they took me to this big conference room, about 20 people in the conference room sitting around the table. And this woman who ran the meeting turned to me and she said that she represented Pfizer Pharmaceuticals, who made this tranquilizer called Zoloft. It makes you feel better. And so they were going to do like a 60 minutes thing. And they want to have a reporter go out with a microphone and go talk to people, you know, who use Zoloft and what a great drug it is and stuff like that. And, you know, I don't work for them, well, I can't. So I said, that is a stupid idea. Well, I guess nobody says that to them very much because they're all, what do you mean? I said, that's so boring, man, 60 minutes. Come on, that's all old people. That thing's been around, show's been around for, even then had been around for 1,000,000 years. She said, what would you do? Well, of course, you know, I love this video journalist thing. And I'd say, well, I would take 3 of my video journalists and I would put them in with families that use Zoloft. And like I'd do it, you know, this was the early days of reality shows. And so I said, I just do like little reality videos about what their life is like. And, you know, all the people in the room were going, that's not what we promised the client. Oh, this kind of kvetching endlessly. So, I turned to Laura, my sister, let's get out of here. Nothing's going to happen here. And so we left. Went back to Oxygen. About an hour later, this woman called and she said, well, that's very interesting. How much would you charge to do this? I mean, you know what it costs to do VJ work, but on the other hand, here's this really fancy ad agency. So I said to Laura, figure out what it costs to do it and multiply by 10. So she said, well, to do the 3 videos or the 5 videos would cost $350,000. And they signed up like that. So, great, fine. So, you know, we went out and I got a couple of VJs and we found these families that were using Zoloft and we were going to have them go and stay a couple of days with them and shoot all the stuff that happened and cut something together. It's not very difficult to do. Anyway, on the first day of the shoot at the very first house, we got there, and I think it was Mark Perkins was going to shoot the thing, and we got there with the VJ, and he was going to do that, and then suddenly all these limos pulled up, all these big black limos, and it was the people from Pfizer and the people from Deutsch. They wanted to be there at the start of the shoot. It's one guy with a camera. So they came out and they saw it was just like one guy with a little tiny, you know, video camera, and this woman went nuts, and she goes, this is not a professional operation. I thought I was hiring a professional producer. You have 24 hours to fix this thing. And I was like, I don't know what to do. So I went home and I called a friend of mine who's in the ad business. And I said, you know, here's the story of what happened. And he said, look, I'll fix this for you, but it's going to cost you $50,000. So I said, great, because I was making $350 anyway. So I said, I gave him the check for $50,000. And the next day, we go back to the guy's house. And, you know, and the people from Pfizer are there, and the people from the ad agency Deutsch are there with their limos and their stuff, and they all get out. And while they're there, this giant black tractor trailer truck pulls up, and the back of the doors open up, and out come guys with clipboards and things in their ear, and lighting kits, and racks of clothing, and a woman with an iron, and a table with lunch things on it, and people with the music stuff, and then the person from Deutsch, she looks at me, she goes, that's more professional. That's exactly what I was looking at. Guys with big cameras, that's what I was looking for. And they get back in the limo and they drive away, and the people from Pfizer get back in the limo, they drive away, and the people I paid $50,000 for with the cameras and the lights and all, they get back in the van and they drive away, and so then it's still Mark Perkins and me with the video camera. So we go to the guy's house and we shoot the video, then we shoot the next video, we shoot the next video, and we deliver it to Pfizer, and they go, to Deutsch, and they go, this is fantastic, we love this, this is great. They didn't know how it was. All they do is they wanted to see the big gear to make it believable to them, even though we made it with, today I would make it with phones, which just shows how ridiculous this fixation is. Anyway, so I sent a friend of mine that, you know, he said, you know, you stupid, $350,000. You could have charged him $3.5 million. I said, really? He said, sure. What do you think Deutsch charges Pfizer to do this stuff? I said, well, that's kind of interesting. So I wrote to the CEO of Pfizer Pharmaceutical, and I said, you're getting screwed by Deutsch. So I went up to see their main offices, and by the time we finished, I had a contract with them to train their in-house staff to make their own video. Sorry, Deutsch Advertising, but that's what you get for being mean to me. Anyway, the point of the story is that corporate clients especially expect giant cameras, and you can shoot the whole thing with a phone. So here's my advice: go buy a giant box somewhere and put a lens on the front and drag it around with you, and then shoot everything with your phone, and everybody will be happy. Talk to you later.